The history of work-life balance. Work-life balance is an essential part of the work environment. In the late 1800s, women and children were given restricted hours that they could work. The reason the hours were restricted was because women needed more personal time so that they could focus on their other responsibilities, being their family by dealing with children and doing chores around the house. The reason children were given more restricted hours that they could work was because they needed more time to focus on education and learning in general, while still having enough time to have fun and play. The Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938 was established to create a basic 44 hours that a full-time worker could work a week to balance their time better between work and their personal lives. With working 44 hours a week, it leaves the employees enough time to relax and focus on their other personal lives, along with having hobbies that were not related to the job at all. Although some jobs like doctors and nurses have a much harder time having a set amount of hours that they could work a week since they're on-call employees, the Women Liberation Act movement was a movement that happened during the 1980s. This movement helped reestablish the importance of work-life balance. The movement focused on women having a more flexible schedule to be able to balance their personal life with their life, since most women still solely were responsible for the basic chores of their household. Along with that, the movement also gave women maternity leave so that they do not have to work when they are close to giving birth. In the end, this movement was successful in what they were trying to do, which was give more satisfaction to the women workers so they could enjoy their life and have a better balance between their work and life schedule. The future of work-life balance. The first step in seeing what may happen in the future regarding work-life balance is learning from the past, which shows that having a healthy balance of work and personal life is important in maintaining and keeping employees happy and working at high levels of efficiency. From past knowledge, it shows that maintaining rules that restrict the amount of hours an employee can work a week can be beneficial in the sense that you can be certain that employees are balancing work and the personal life properly and not overworking themselves. Jobs that you have work from home are becoming more popular over time, especially with the outbreak of the coronavirus. I think that stay-at-home jobs will become more common in the future, which creates different problems when dealing with work-life balance. The main problem is that working from home makes it easy to get caught working longer hours and thinking about work more often, since your job is in the same place where your personal life takes place. To make sure that your employees are balancing their work and personal lives, companies may start implementing software that monitors how long every day you are on your work computer, making sure that you are working the appropriate amount of time, but also making sure you're not working for too much time, making sure that your work and life are properly balanced.
A healthy workplace environment is defined by the World Health Organization as one where workers and managers collaborate to continually improve the health, safety, and well-being of all workers, and by doing this, sustain the productivity of the business. We spend a third of our lives working, so our workplace environment has a significant impact on our overall health and well-being. Healthy does not only constitute needing medical attention, it could also be the outlook of the workplace and even the surroundings. There are 4 aspects to look into when creating a healthy workplace. When you create a positive workplace culture that is practiced by employees as well as the manager, the environment of the workplace tends to be healthier, as everyone would have nothing to be upset about or unhappy about. A healthy workplace environment also involves the physical environment of the office or workshop and the occupational health and safety of your employees. You can reduce the worry of your employees by looking into the safety of the workplace. Next, we have health and lifestyle practice, which means the employees will care for the company they're working for if they know they're being looked after. Employees are the best asset of every organization, and putting effort into employee wellness can encourage better teamwork, increase productivity, and reduce sick leave and workplace accidents. And finally, a supportive workplace culture is really the foundation of a healthy workplace environment. When employees come in with personal problems, it is essential to find the core of the problem and be supportive employer by showing concern. A happy and healthy employee is a productive employee. People who enjoy their jobs are more likely to engage thoroughly with their work. As an employee, it is always in your best interest to keep your staff happy. Otherwise, resentment could start to impact on the quality of their work, or they may even consider leaving. Some ways to create a healthy workplace environment include you can encourage health and wellness of your employees by a weekly exercise program, such as a yoga session before the start of their workday or an aerobics class after work. This not only encourages a healthy lifestyle among your team, but also gives them the opportunity to get to know their workmates better. Another great way to create a healthy workplace environment is by eating healthy. And no, skipping lunch break because employees are busy is not a good excuse. Try catering a healthy lunch meal such as salads or sandwiches, or you can provide a bowl of fruits for snacks. Another great way to create a healthy workplace environment is by encouraging your employees to take a 5 quick-minute break from their desk. Regular breaks will assist to relieve muscle fatigue, eye strain, and to restore the level of concentration. Fair employee policy should apply to all employees regardless of their position or designation in the company. If a supervisor constantly misses deadlines, you should take it as seriously as you would with a junior employee. If your policy changes, ensure everyone knows about it. Team building activities not only bond employees closer, but also motivates them. Creating a positive workplace environment. These activities help improve internal communication and productivity, boosting morale at the workplace and helping employees get to know each other better. Preventative stress management is defined by the essentials of organizational behavior as a set of methods that promote health at the workplace and avoid distress. The World Health Organization expands on this definition through a healthy workplace environment being in which there is not only the absence of harmful conditions that can cause injury and illness, but an abundance of health-promoting ones. Many organizations have wellness programs that offer workshops on time management, weight loss, alcohol and or drug abuse, smoking, and exercise. Health and well-being programs take into account the type of work and provide activities or initiatives that are designed to make healthy choices the easy choice for workers. An effective workplace health and well-being program simultaneously addresses individual, environmental, and organizational factors affecting worker well-being. Healthy People focuses on individual needs such as improving access to health services and information, as well as building the knowledge and the skills of workers to adopt healthy lifestyles. Healthy Places provides a physical work environment that supports healthy choices and offers resources to actively encourage healthy behavior. Healthy Vision is an active commitment of management and business practices and policies that support healthy behaviors, such as flexible work or smoke-free policies. If an employee is exhibiting a clear stress reaction that is affecting their performance, a referral for counseling could be made through an employee assistance program. These programs have become more common in large organizations. EAPs may provide counseling, information, and referrals appropriate for treatment and support services.
When one thinks of work-life balance, they might not think of managers. Speaking from experience, I've had some managers that were great and others that were not so great. And the times I had great managers, it made my job more enjoyable and definitely less stressful. It is very important for a manager to have a good understanding of organizational behavior. With that being said, I was able to find 5 significant benefits managers can gain when having a good understanding of organizational behavior. So I'm going to go over the 5 right here with you right now. The first one, we're just going to start with understanding organizational impact of individual and group behaviors. Then we have more effective at motivating employees, stronger relationship between manager and employee, able to predict and control employee behavior, and then lastly is assessing employee response before any organizational change. So a manager can take these benefits and implement them into their job. These benefits will help improve manager-employee relationship. It will also motivate their employees and have a greater chance to see employee success. So I want to go over the 3 different areas here: relationship, motivation, success. Starting with relationship, we have strong manager-employee work bond, reduced micromanagement, communication, and trust. So essentially this is basically saying if a manager can have good communication and trust with their employee, then it will definitely reduce micromanagement, which will keep that strong work bond between the two. Next, we have motivation. We have personal motivation, team meetings, survey/recognition programs, and encouraging to pursue aspirations. So personal motivation is something that a manager should try to find, like what motivates their employees. They have personal motivations, what keeps them going. The next is team meetings. This is really great for teams to have to keep morale high, or even boost motivation to want to do better. Another great booster for motivation is the recognition programs. A recognition program can put one employee in the spotlight who's doing really well, which will then boost the other, or make the other employees want to do better on the team. So boosting their motivation. And then surveys are also great for managers to find out what they need to improve on, what they are lacking in, or what they can grow in, just by anonymous surveys that the employees on the team can fill out. And then lastly is encouraging to pursue aspirations. The manager should try to figure out what their employees are wanting. Are they wanting to move up in ranks at the current position that they're at, or are they wanting to move departments and the job that they're at? Are they going to school to go to get a degree? If they don't have a degree, and try to get a job higher up at the job that they work at. So that's just something that definitely a manager should look at. And then last, we have success. So with success, we have coaching, setting individual goals, improving work environment, showing all options available to employee. So we have coaching, which is something that is great to improve work performance. Helping the employee get better at what their job is, will tremendously help with job satisfactory. Setting the individual goals while you do those coaching sessions, try to get your employees to have goals to achieve, will help keep them improving. And then work environment, if you want to improve the work environment, it can definitely help relieve stress, and just have good downtime when employees are on break. So simply as providing a nice coffee machine, or couches or whatnot to sit on to relax. And then lastly is showing all options available to employees. This could be letting them know where they can grow in, where they can positions that open up, and even like scheduling, flexible scheduling, what options they have. So all these can help give an employees help them succeed at their job. So everything that I've just gone over basically encompasses what a manager's role can be in an employee's work-life balance. If a manager can make an employee's job easier, it can increase job satisfactory, which will then make the employee more happy and make their overall life better.
The word social is a very broad word that can mean a million things. It could be waving to a stranger, playing basketball with friends, having dinner with a colleague, or even visiting your grandma. Social life is basically doing enjoyable stuff with others. Humans are naturally social people. We are born into families and communities and establish connections everywhere we go. Socialization is an everyday thing. We interact with people every day, whether on social platforms or in person. Yet, a large number of people tend to ignore their social life in an effort to focus more on their work life, but forget how impactful your social life can be on your physical health, mental health, and even your work life. According to research conducted by the Economic and Social Research Council, people with supportive friends and family generally have better mental and physical health. In terms of mental health, an individual that has an emotional support system is better able to manage and react to negative stimuli, and having trusted family members and friends awards you the privilege of not having to go through a hardship alone. Additionally, being social is the best way of releasing all the built-up stress from all the meetings, papers, and deadlines. Having dinner with your family after a long day at the office, a nice Sunday barbecue, or going to your local cinema with a few friends are just a few examples of how your social life can help in releasing stress generated by your work life. Moreover, a study conducted by Advantage Care Health Center concluded that a strong social network is associated with a healthier endocrine, cardiovascular, and immune system. Hence, we are able to say that being socially active can be directly linked to being a happier and healthier person. Yet, on the other hand, an unhealthy social life is linked with strong feelings of loneliness and depression, along with high levels of anxiety and stress, and this coincides with high mortality rates. Furthermore, individuals that lack a social life or possess an unhealthy social lifestyle usually suffer from a variety of health issues, such as increased heart disease, loss of appetite, weakening immune system, and higher levels of blood pressure, which is similar to symptoms exhibited in smokers and obese people. Therefore, it is evident to say that a healthy social lifestyle is directly related to an individual's health, and an unhealthy individual would not be able to maintain a healthy work-life balance, and by neglecting your social life, you are also jeopardizing your work life. Other than its various impacts on health and stress relief, how can your social life affect your work life? So it is weird for me to see people saying that work and social life should be separated, yet the average worker spends a third of his or her day at work. Therefore, I believe it is important to establish social relationships in your workplace and actually befriending the people that you work with for 9 hours a day, 5 days a week. Establishing social relationships at work will help develop a sense of community and belongingness in your organization. In turn, this friendly environment will result in an increase in employee motivation, retention, and also engagement. Moreover, socially interacting with a colleague during a break could also help in breaking the monotony of the working day and serves as a quick dose of stress relief. Lastly, social interaction between workers also opens up the chance for further creativity and innovation, as establishing social relationships with your colleagues will enable you to be more expressive of your ideas and suggestions, which will certainly benefit your work life.
Separating work and personal life. Technology is one of the biggest things that creates a conflict that hinders the separation of work and personal life nowadays. Technology creates more of a mesh between the two, and especially the use of smartphones does that as well. We use smartphones for our own personal social media, but we also use our smartphones for professional social media and networking. And these things combining provides less of a separation between our work life and our personal life. Also, notifications from both are all streamlined into one device, so this can also rope us back in to work-related issues or work-related things in general. And not separating the two work and personal life can lead to unnecessary stress and mental ailments such as depression and anxiety. And all of these things can lead to burnout, which is more of a prevalent situation seen in business professionals nowadays. There are many benefits to separating work and personal life. Some are increased productivity in the workplace and at home, because when you have a fresh mind, you can tackle your job or your duties more efficiently. It also helps with attendance. There's less absenteeism at work, which is better for the company and better for the employee. It contributes to better overall health, and that means less stress that's not brought home if there's separation. Once you close that laptop or close that book at work, you don't bring it home with you, you leave it there. And this all increases loyalty to the job and company, because when you're refreshed, you can dive back in with an open mind. And it will most likely lead the employee to stay longer in their job. And the company can also see these benefits as well. When work and personal life is shown separated, competitiveness increases, and it helps them create a lower turnover for employees in the long run. Some tips for separation: make a schedule that balances work and personal life. This means planning a set time to arrive and leave the workplace to create that schedule. And this also means dedicating specific time to recharge. And this could be meditation, this could mean a hobby, this could mean doing something you love, because doing something that you love recharges your brain. Another big thing is pausing technology usage, whether that's the professional technology usage or personal technology usage. That aids in a lot of stress. And especially now how most smartphones combine professional and personal social media, there's an even bigger need to separate it. There's also apps like Google Voice that can filter the contacts in the phone and provide another way for professional contacts to contact you. And if you do not have the time, or you're away from your desk, or you're at home and are not able to work, it helps you create that divide. And it lets the people know that you're not available at that time, which can help out the employee a lot. Another thing is creating boundaries with people in the workplace. And that means, when you're engaging in conversation, whether that's productive to your job or not at the workplace, you're creating a boundary, so once it's time for you to move forward and go back to your desk or do your job or even go home, that's that boundary set there. That's a rule that you're saying to yourself and for your coworkers, okay, I have to do this, I have to get out of here, type of thing. And even at home, setting boundaries, for your family, your loved ones, friends, etc., helps separate work and personal life. Another thing that helps a lot is minimizing distractions in the workplace, which leads to more efficiency in the job, and it helps the employee focus on the task that needs to be done in order for them to move forward, either to another task or even getting out of there. And that's a big thing. another good tip is to constantly reassess the balance between work and personal life in order for that level of balance to be maintained. Because let's be honest, life has its ups and downs, and it's not going to be perfect at all times, so it's good to constantly be in check. And another good tip is to make sure that you have different relationships inside and outside of work or personal life. They always say that, fraternizing with your coworkers is great for the job, but also it doesn't really help outside of the job because it collides the two worlds, and that's not really the best business practice to have. So creating the different relationships that you hold close to you, either professionally or personally, is a very big thing as well. And the last one is take much needed time for yourself. And this is one of the biggest things, because if you don't take the time needed for yourself, like I said before, you're going to burn out, and it's not going to be good for you personally or professionally. When dealing with work and personal life, there are two types of workers: segmenters and integrators. Integrators are people that mesh work and personal life. They're usually more passionate about their job, and they allow their work and personal life to mix. This can also lead to affecting more of home life and vice versa. And segmentors are people that separate work and personal life efficiently and can easily switch from the work to the home mindset based on what they're doing or where they are.
Job satisfaction. Why job satisfaction is so important. Every single year, disengaged employees cost American businesses anywhere from $450 to $500 billion in loss. In addition, engaged workplaces excel in many areas that disengaged workplaces lack. Below is a chart that shows some of the percentages and differences. This is the difference between the most engaged workplaces and the least engaged workplaces. Here you can see that 10% of engaged workplaces are 10% more likely to have higher customer reviews, 21% more productive, 22% more profitable, 28% less customer shrinkage. They also have 37% less absenteeism, 41% fewer patient safety incidents, 41% fewer quality defects, and 48% fewer safety incidents. All of these are due to the fact that job satisfaction directly correlates with an employee's engagement on the job. The higher job satisfaction is, the better off the company is and the employees are. Who does job satisfaction affect? Job satisfaction affects all Americans. According to this chart below that I have here, you can see that a majority of Americans haven't been satisfied at work since 2005. If you look at the chart, you can see that in 2010, 42% of employees were satisfied with their jobs, and in 2015, only 32% were satisfied with their jobs. Job satisfaction leads to higher productivity, and it leads to better quality of the outputs. When employees are not satisfied with their work, it leads to an overall negative workplace. So, therefore, job satisfaction affects everyone, and it affects every workplace. What causes job dissatisfaction? Unsatisfied with compensation. Many times employees feel like they're not compensated for their work. Little to no career advancement opportunities. So if there's nothing for employees to reach, any promotions, that also causes job dissatisfaction because they have nothing to motivate them. Lack of personal growth on the job. So a lack of events to participate in that makes employees feel satisfied and fulfilled with their lives. This also leads to job satisfaction. Unsatisfactory recognition from their superiors for their performance. So oftentimes employees like to be recognized for the things that they do, the accomplishments that they have, and this fulfills them. And then unfulfilling work. So if an employee is unsatisfied with what they do for a living, basically. So how can you improve job satisfaction? There's a variety of ways to improve job satisfaction. One is financial incentives. Another is the opportunity to make a difference, both socially and environmentally. Flexible scheduling, opportunities for growth, and accomplishment recognition. So recognizing employees' accomplishments. To go into a little bit more depth onto how to create job satisfaction, with financial incentives, increases in salaries is definitely a good way to financially motivate employees to work harder, keep their jobs, and motivate them more on the job. Another way is offering bonuses for reaching specific quotas. So when an employee reaches a certain time of the year or reaches a certain number, offering them financial incentives and compensating them for extra time spent on the job, so overtime, weekend time, all that kind of stuff. Providing them with meaningful work, so offering some way for them to make a positive impact on the environment and society. This gives employees meaning in their work. It helps fulfill them. This will also create loyalty to the company, and it gives them a chance to participate in environmental and social projects. Flexibility, so allowing flexible schedules for employees. This allows them to take vacation time and to visit with their families and have that family time so that they can get that good work-life balance. Another one is growth opportunities, so giving employees the opportunity to be promoted or work their way up in the company. They should always have promotions available for employees when they're earned. This is a good way to get employees actively engaged. The last one is recognition. So just making sure that employees are recognized for the hard work that they're always doing, the accomplishments that they earn, especially nowadays. Recognition is huge. So just making sure that employees are motivated to execute their tasks by giving them the recognition that they want and deserve.
Hi, my name is Marissa Coringrato, and for my part of the presentation, I'm going to be focusing on the relationship between time and money and how that relates to organizational behavior. So first, I want to talk about a type A behavior pattern. This term was coined by two heart specialists, Dr. Friedman and Dr. Roseman, to describe a behavior pattern that they found actually leads to severe health complications in one's future. This behavior pattern is also known as hurry sickness or compulsive striving. People with this behavior pattern feel a sense of time urgency, acceleration of common activities, restlessness, hostility, and feelings of struggle against the limitations of time. They feel like they're locked into a relentless battle to beat the clock. This behavior pattern is often channeled particularly into one's career with such force that a type A person often neglects other aspects of their life, such as family and home life. By focusing solely on one aspect, such as work, in a stressful manner that a type A individual does, you deprive yourself of enjoying the fruits of your labor. Type B people are just as successful and capable as their type A peers. However, they conduct themselves with more ease and confidence that leads them to actually live longer and fuller lives, meaning after they retire, they still are healthier in their overall bodily state to enjoy in all of the hard work that they have done. As Dr. Carlin said, don't beat the clock, romance it. You should enjoy your time here because this is the only time that we do have here. Moving on to my next topic, would you be happier if you were richer? Reports of mood provided from low and high earning individuals I feel like are a very good example to illustrate this question. It was actually found that people with incomes below $20,000 per year spend 32% of their time in a bad mood, while people with incomes above $100,000 per year spend 20% of their time in a bad mood. Given that gap in income, you would assume that the percentage gap in mood would be much greater. However, that doesn't seem to be the case. This is because with more money comes more problems. Income is seen as relative, so as you earn more income, you're going to be around other people who are also earning higher levels of income, making you feel you have certain standards of life to live up to. Furthermore, people spend more time working and commuting to and from work when they make higher incomes. They're doing this rather than spending time with their family or friends. In addition to that, having a higher paying job often means having higher levels of stress and more responsibilities put on you in your everyday life. Now, the focusing illusion explains why people in general are not more satisfied the richer they are, because whatever you focus on is what you're going to attract to yourself. It's all about perception. So when people focus only on income and ignore the other factors related to their well-being, they feel less satisfied with their lives, which is why it is so important to have that balance between getting joy both in your work and outside of your work. Now let's talk about money as motivation. That is a very touchy topic because it has to be very balanced in order for using money as a form of reward to work out successfully. A pro is that companies that correctly tie pay to performance and pay more have higher rates of return, which also leads to an extrinsic motivation, meaning their employees are working towards a physical, tangible asset that they can attain by completing a certain task. Now, there are definitely some cons to using money for rewards, such as pay dispersion, which is how pay rates differ across individuals. Pay dispersion can create pay inequity as well due to discrimination, which could even go to litigation if it's found that people who have the same job are being paid vastly different amounts. Furthermore, another con is that the rewards might be viewed as a form of control by the boss rather than an indicator of competence. So employees might feel as though this is their boss putting the hammer down on them rather than giving them a reward for completing a certain task. People do need clearly defined start and end to feel empowered. However, it's important to find the right balance between using money as motivation and using something that's non-quantifiable. Overall, it's very important to have a healthy relationship with your money and to know that it is not the ruling aspect over your satisfaction within your life.
Open up, you OPN, hit you on BBM, we should be closer than friends, if you OPN, engaging you's on my agenda, request my chariot to get ya.